Welcome to this week's episode of LArocks. Each year, thousands of bands make their pilgrimage to Los Angeles to play at places like the Whiskey, the Roxy, and the Rainbow Bar and Grill. I scout the city and invite only the best bands to do a private, invitation-only show for me and my rock star buddies.
Brought to you from beautiful Hollywood, California.
Oh yeah, I'm Redbeard, and I'm going to be your host. So follow me, and I'll get you past security.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and welcome to another edition of LArocks. I'm Redbeard. I am your host, and we're gonna have a great time. That's what we're here to do today. Is have an awesome time. Let me tell you, every week we have a great rock star on, and this week it was going to be Brent Woods. And I got a phone call from Brent this morning, and he's sick. So Brent, we send our best wishes to you, everybody here, and we hope you get well. And he promised to come do the show another time. So in lieu of that, I have this awesome interview with Tim Bogert, legendary bass player. I went to his house in Simi Valley, and I have an awesome interview with him that's never been seen before, and we're going to put that in this week's show. So that ought to be great. Brent, we're sorry you couldn't make it, but hey, the Tim Bogert interview ought to be pretty darn good. Man, oh man, do we have an awesome band for you this week. This week, from San Diego, drove all the way up here through storms and whatever. Nah, it wasn't so bad. It's kind of Southern California. But we want to welcome Trailer Park Rock Stars to the studio. Thank you. Yes.
What do you want me to say? Troubled sons will take you to the very extreme. We live it every day. Troubled sons, they call us troubled sons. What do you want me to say? Troubled sons will take you to the very extreme. We live it every day. Troubled sons. This one's called Long Time Coming. You think it's right to lay your hands on a woman? Does it make you feel like a man? Why the hell would you wanna make her suffer? Or do you do it 'cause you know you can? You knew once the word got out about what you did, I'm gonna hunt you down. It's gonna be a long time coming. What I'll do to you, I'm gonna beat you down. I know your name. What you gonna do? I know your game. I'm gonna fight, yeah. I told you if you ever touch her again, we're coming after you. I'm gonna bury you. I guess you should have never called my bluff. This time you'll pay. I had enough. Oh, you knew once the word got out about what you did, I'm gonna hunt you down. It's gonna be a long time coming. What I'll do to you, I'm gonna beat you down. I know your name. What you gonna do? I know your game. I'm gonna fight, yeah. I'm gonna fight you. Make some fucking noise! You knew once the word got out about what you did, gonna hunt you down. It's gonna be a long time coming. What I'll do to you, I'm gonna beat you down. I know your name. What you gonna do? I know your game. I'm gonna find you. Thank you very much. This one is called Hot Rod Heaven. to start, not revving and gripping the wheel, waiting for the green light. The rubber's burning, the piston's turning, strap in, shut up, bitch, and hold on tight. Like Chris B, the only rush a man could need. The horses kick you in your seat, living fast in a hot rod heaven. My hot rod heaven. Go! Anticipation, heart-pounding exhilaration. Like Chris B, the only rush a man could need. The horses kick you in your seat, living fast in a hot rod heaven. My hot rod heaven. Go!
Wow, these guys are great. We'll be right back right after this.
This is Rick Fox, and you're watching LArocks TV with Red Mancini.
I don't need a goddamn thing from you. you till I'm through with you. Every day is the same old grind. You need some kind of escape. Keep telling yourself that it's all good and everything gon' be okay. You feel it coming over you like a hurricane. I can see the look on your face. All the years are just slipping away. It's time to make a change. The years will pass you by. Walk away. You need to take a chance. Never give up before you try. Everything you miss in life, it eats you up inside. Walk away. To get a piece of the better things, all you have to do is walk away. Oh yeah. Oh. If you keep a sheltered life, you will go insane. You're a zombie in your own little world, dwelling in your endless shame. So take a step out of your shell and take a look around. This world has everything, so take what you want and don't you ever back down. It's time to make a change. The years will pass you by. You need to take a chance. Never give up before you try. Everything you miss in life, it eats you up inside. Walk away. To get a piece of the better things, all you have to do is walk away. Pass you by. Walk away. You need to take a chance. Never give up before you try. Everything you miss in life, it eats you up inside. Just walk away. To get a piece of the better things, all you have to do is walk away. You need to make a change. The years will pass you by. Walk away. You need to take a chance. Never give up before you try. Everything you miss in life, it eats you up inside. To get a piece of the better things, all you have to do is walk away. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming out. This is our last song, titled Trailer Park Rockstar. Gets harder every day with all these bills to pay. Those taxes screwing you, your ration black and blue. Sad times are getting near, you just ran out of beer. It seems it never ends, you still have your friends. Can't get away, it's drowning me. My troubles won't leave me be. This hits me hard, it's gonna leave a scar. It's tough to be a trailer park rockstar. You think I have no class? Well, you can kiss my ass. You think you're better than me? Fuck your prosperity. free. Can't seem to find a job. Tempted to steal and rob. My credit is denied, but I still have my pride. Can't get away. It's drowning me. My troubles won't leave me be. This hits me hard. It's gonna leave a scar. It's tough to be a trailer park. Closer! This hits me hard. It's gonna leave a scar. It's tough to be a trailer park. Closer! Right, I'm gonna need you guys to follow me on this. All I'm gonna need you to do is yell, hey, just follow me on this. You ready? Hey! 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 All right, thank you very much. We're Trailer Park Rockstar. Thank you for coming out. You guys rock.
Trigger, and you are listening to LArocks TV.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. Again, thanks for coming. We so appreciate it. And what do you think of them, that Trailer Park Rockstar, man? Did they kick ass or what? Yeah. They were awesome. I'm so glad they were here. I'm so glad they were here. They're a great band out of San Diego. And let me tell you, if you're out there and you're looking for great entertainment, you got to run over and see this band. Like we talked about in the beginning of the show, unfortunately, Brent Woods got sick, and he has stomach flu, and he was unable to make it today. And our best wishes go out to Brent. But I do have a good interview with a legend and bass player, Tim Bogert, from Cactus and Beck Bogert and Appice and Vanilla Fudge. And he let me come to his house out in Simi Valley, and he and I got to kick it. And let me tell you, when you're talking to a guy that knew Jimi Hendrix and had Led Zeppelin open up for him as an opening act, the guy's got some great stories. So why don't we take a look at that right now? Hey, Tim, I noticed in 1969 Vanilla Fudge was out on the road, and at that time your opening act was that little band from England, Led Zeppelin. I noticed in the beginning you guys were clearly on the top part of the bill, but about 6 or 7 shows in, you guys kind of started sharing the equal billing as they got better. Did that piss anybody off?
I don't remember it pissing me off at the time, no. We always wondered because the Fudge had opened for an awful lot of people and had really, I guess, outdone them that night. And we always wondered, geez, who was going to outdo us? Yeah, and it was them. They did.
They did.
I think it was Oklahoma City, if I remember right. And they went out and did a show that night, and it was unbelievable. I mean, I used to watch all the shows in the wings.
How could you not?
It was amazing. And I realized, well, there's no way we can follow that. I mean, I've seen us do that to other bands.
Exactly.
You know, the audience is spent, it's okay. So I went out and explained to the audience, well, there's no way in God's green earth we can follow that. So I've decided not to. and brought all the guys out from all the bands, and we just jammed for the next however long it was.
Oh my God.
It was really cool. It worked really well.
Oh my word. Can you imagine
It was good.
a fan from that show to this day speaks of that show?
Probably.
That's one of the shows that they never stop telling the story about.
I hope so. It was a great time.
I can only
I've
imagine.
had a lot of great times. I've been very lucky.
Talk about lucky. Tell me about Ed Sullivan's show.
Yeah, we got to do that twice.
Not just once.
It was nice.
How is Ed? What kind of man was he?
Oh, he was very cordial. Nice guy.
Nice guy. Well,
Yeah.
I heard he had some problem with the Doors,
I don't know.
but I guess he had some problems with Morrison saying some words on the Doors he wasn't supposed to say.
Oh, yeah, now I remember that story.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Anyway.
In this day and age, Tim, what does it take for a band to make the move from playing in a bar to making it on a big stage? It's different than when you were a kid.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I haven't tried to make it in years. I haven't a clue.
Yeah.
Things have changed so much
Internet.
since my day. Well, it's downloads, it's MP3s.
Yeah, modern media has changed things.
Everything's changed now. Just like cars have changed and TVs have changed.
Yeah.
Everything does. Including my hair color, damn it.
Yeah. And
So,
and
yeah.
my waistline. So,
Yeah.
since we've known each other, your hair's changed and my waistline has changed. So,
Oh, there it is.
let's talk about Gary McGrath, working in the studio with Gary. Two-time Grammy winner Gary McGrath was the producer of this project of Manny Carlson's from legendary Nazareth. I saw you when I first met you. You were playing with him. Gary's an artist around town as well with the McGrath Project. And are you doing any playing with him again?
I don't know if he has any gigs coming up or not. Every
Yeah.
now and then he calls and says, hey, you want to play? I go, okay.
Because it's nice to see you out playing.
Oh, it's fun. It's low pressure stuff. I'm retired. It's nice just to plunk every now and then.
You doing
It is.
any recordings that you send out? People send in stuff and you record here and
Yeah,
do
sometimes.
tracks for them?
I do session work here.
Yeah. I kind of,
So.
I gotta imagine you're a pretty sought after bass player to be doing session work. We can't talk about Tim Bogert without probably mentioning the drummer that he's been with in so many bands, Carmine.
Yeah, Carmine Apiece.
Tell me what it is about Carmine that makes Tim Bogert want to play on a new record that we'll talk about here in a minute with Mr. Vargas. What makes Tim get up and go play again with somebody like that? Huh? He's a great guy.
Well, it's a couple things. Carmine is the most driven individual I have ever known. And he also plays drums that way, and that's fun to play with.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen him play.
He goes 100 miles an hour in 8 directions all at the same time. And I'm so ADD, it's just wonderful.
So, because you've done
So it's
many
terrific.
projects with him.
Yeah, I've been lucky. He's a fine drummer. I've been in, 6 or 8 different projects with him.
Yeah. Most probably famous of all of them would be Beck Bogert
Yeah.
and Appice. That would be Beck of Jeff Beck. Not like you haven't played with everybody under the sun that is like the greatest.
Well, of my generation, I played with a lot of people, yeah.
I've seen pictures of you with Eddie Van Halen, for God's sakes.
Yeah, we've played together. He played on my solo album.
He good guitar player to play with?
Yeah,
Yeah, he hits.
he's fun.
He hits all the stuff.
He's
doesn't
a
he?
lot of fun.
Yeah. In 1981, you made a decision to go a different direction. You started teaching. Why did that happen? What got you into that?
I was asked by one of the instructors at the school, actually it was 79, and they called up and said, could I come down and show some of the stuff I had done, some of the tricky stuff I had done on the Cactus albums. One of the instructors down there had written out some of my lines as curriculum for the fellas, and could I come down and physically show how I did that stuff?
Right.
And so I went down, and it went really well. And I'm unemployed. I've just come back from Europe. There's nothing happening at the moment. And I thought, oh, this is terrific. And they called me back up and said, well, could I do a seminar? And I thought, yeah, I could do that. I called my friend up and asked, what's a seminar? What do you do? Because I'd not been to one before. And they explained it to me, so I brought all my pedals down and explained how I did stuff and did pretty much a bass solo for the hour or so I was talking and show this and do that. And that went really well. So they asked, well, would I come in and work a day? And that went well, and I was one of the few instructors that we would do orientation twice a year for the new classes that would come in. And most of the players at that time were instrumentalists, not very few of them sang. And if they did, it wasn't their forte, it was just background stuff. I could sing pretty well, and in the show I would sing lead. Some of the kids were asking, well, can you show us how to do some stuff? And so I got one more day for vocals, and that one day became so popular it became 2. I did that for the next 18 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, from what I remember, you were there for more than 2 days.
I was there for 3 days for 18 years, yeah.
It's got to be rewarding.
It was good. I met an awful lot of fun people. I still keep in touch with them.
I go to your Facebook page and I see a lot of people.
There.
I see a lot of folks who have really good things to say about you.
I brainwashed them when they were young.
I see. You must have that power. You have that power of people. It's, you just came back from rock and roll fantasy camp. How is that for you? Is that a good time?
That was fun. It's very much like working at the Musicians Institute. It's a similar concept. The difference being that this is a cram it all into a 6-day experience, 18 hours a day, where the school would do it over a 6-month period. And the school was people trying to be pros, and these are executives or most of the people I met there were people who owned businesses and had done well, and they were fulfilling a dream.
Yeah.
And they came in. My guys worked really hard.
Yeah. Who are you with?
We called ourselves the Smoking Jackets. It was 7 fellas.
Nice.
Yeah, they were good. A whole bunch of people from the New York area turned out. One guy from Colorado and a fella from the Philippines.
It's amazing.
And it was really good.
And they come and they fulfill their fantasies, and they go to this fantasy.
Yeah, and we did the show at the end at the Playboy Mansion.
That's nice.
And that went really well. Had a lot of fun.
That's nice. Did you visit the grotto, Tim? Were you in the grotto?
We were in the grotto, yes.
How's the grotto? Is it everything you expected it to be?
Well, it's a tiny little thing. The ceiling is maybe 5.5 foot tall, and it smells like chlorine at the Y.
Oh,
but
you don't notice that in pictures?
No.
You don't notice that?
Well, the great, huge, heaving breasts probably takes that away.
A little bit,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about these TV shows that are on right now. We got The Voice and American Idol. And do you watch any of that stuff?
I don't actually, because it's the same concept as a show or a class that we ran at school called Rock Performance.
Yeah.
And I did that for 17 years. So to watch those shows is like going to work.
Yeah, and that's not entertaining at all.
I did pretty much what Steven did, except as an instructor as well. What Steven Tyler and those people do. It was my job to critique and explain what worked well and what didn't, and et cetera, et cetera. So to me, watching those shows, it's going back to work.
Yeah.
So no, I don't watch them.
No,
although I understand the interest that people have in it. It is interesting.
Yeah, and it is, and I completely understand the fascination as well. The Fudge plays every now and then. Do you go out and play with him still? Or?
I did up until 2008.
Until 2008.
Same with Cactus. I left Cactus in October of 2008.
So there's no chance of a reunion then, maybe with the Fudge and
I have
Cactus?
a problem traveling anymore because I had an injury a few years ago that gives me a hard time sitting in one place too long, I heard.
Well, you know how much I love you, but I'm going to press one more time. If they came to California, where you didn't have to travel.
Knowing the boys, they would bring the bass player they have now because that's the band. It's like suddenly replacing our right end on the football team. for a big game. I don't think the team would go for it.
Well,
You know
we'll
what I
leave
mean?
it. We'll leave it at that then. You getting out and riding?
All the time. Was out riding this morning.
I see you got a Harley or two there in the garage, and
Yeah.
you when I called you this morning, you said you were going to go for a ride, and that's really great that you've enjoyed riding now for years. You've been riding a long
Oh,
time.
since I was a kid, yeah.
Yeah, it's
All my life.
well, Tim. I can't thank you enough for inviting me out to your house and to take these few minutes and sit down and talk with me. I sure appreciate it. I know that my listeners will surely appreciate it. Do you have anything coming up that you're playing? Just this thing with Manny, and we're going to look for that. You're on that. That's something new.
I did a thing with Javier Vargas about a year ago. That's
Yeah.
as an import.
Yeah. And that was with
No, I don't-
Carmine as well.
Yeah, it was with Carmine. I don't do a whole lot anymore, though. My injury kind of keeps me moving slow. See, riding, luckily enough, you just plunk your leg in one spot and the bike does all the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I live a bit of a quiet life now, and that's okay.
Well,
It's working for me.
it's been one hell of a ride, it sounds
Yeah,
like.
it
I
was.
mean, it's been one hell of a ride. And thanks again. I so appreciate it. And we'll be right back right after this. Wow. I told you it's an awesome interview, and thanks, Tim. And it was a real pleasure and an honor to be out to your house. Let me tell you about my first guest. My first guest is out of San Diego. He has a company called Universal Musical Production, and he's down there helping young bands get everything they need to get out on the road. And I'd like you to welcome my first guest, Pete Worth. Thanks, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you.
Man, I so appreciate you coming to the show. Thanks for turning me on to that band. They're awesome. Tell folks a little bit about what you do down there in San Diego.
Well, as you mentioned, Universal Musical Productions is a multifaceted company. And Dean, as a matter of fact, was instrumental in me getting involved with you. As you can see, he's a maniac behind the kit.
He's awesome, yeah,
There's
yeah.
nobody else you really want, driving the band, but Dino. And so him and I were involved in a project together, and we've known each other for a while. He came to me and asked me to take a look at his band, and I'm glad he did. I'm thankful for it. So how they fit into my company is I have a management company. And the name of the company is Universal Musical Productions, but we're a multifaceted company. We deal with everything from production, which is full-blown concerts, as you see here, to recording and replication, which my son Tommy is in charge of. He takes care of all the engineering, and we have a guy by the name of Brian DeFabio that does the mixing and mastering. And then we have a facility here in Baldwin Park where we have our CDs replicated. We're kind of like a one-stop shop for all the bands that kind of need to get to that
And a
next
family
level.
business, too. You've got your kids working with you.
We are a family business. Part of the business is a development division, and my son and my godson work developing new acts and get them acclimated to what it takes to actually get out there and be a viable band where they're not only self-sustained, but they're earning money, they're making a difference, and they're putting their name out there. And we do a lot of different things as far as the company is concerned with different acts in different states. We don't just manage them. We implore them to actually get in touch with anybody who is involved in the UMP family and ask questions, because knowledge is power. And if you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't mean that that's a place for you to stop.
Right.
It's a place for you to inquire and dig a little bit further and work a little bit harder.
Well, this is something that new bands, and this is what we do here, is we try to help new bands along the road.
Yeah.
And you're kind of the guy that, once a band finds the musicians they're going to have in the band, and they've been to the studio and they've done all the rehearsal, when they've come out of there, when they've come out of woodshedding, many of them don't know the next steps to get
Right.
their music heard by folks.
Right.
And to have somebody like you that's available to get them on the right path. Let me ask you this. How has the internet changed the music business? You've been in business 30
30
years
but thank
now?
you for dating me, man. I can
20,
do
all
the
right.
same to you, but I won't.
That's right. Thank you for that. You've been in business a while. You've seen the change with the internet.
Yeah.
How does that change the game now?
Well, you know, it's all a mindset. I mean, you can get pissed about it and say, oh, the changes have made things more difficult. But, I mean, if you embrace the tools that are in front of you and use the internet to your advantage, and you're doing the right promotion, and you're connecting, and you're using all the networks that are out there, you know, the multimedia networks that help you stride,
Right.
you use it to your advantage. I mean, everybody's pissed off about the whole 360 deal with the major record labels. Well, you know, they missed the bus back in the day, and that's why there's so many independent labels.
Right.
But if you just focus on what you're doing and put out a good product, find some major distribution, and just play your ass off. Go to the gigs where you know you're going to get seen. Support the other acts around you, and focus on what you're there to do as a musician.
Right.
Write music. You know, build a team around you. Find a manager. Get a booking agent. You know, work with publicists, and most importantly, just get out there and support the other local bands that are there to do the same thing you're there to do. That's how it was in the 60s and the 70s.
No,
I mean,
that's
you know
how it
how
was.
it was. You were up in Hollywood.
I remember putting posters up for bands that I had nothing to do with just to help them get a crowd. They'd hand you 50 posters,
Right.
and you'd
Right.
walk around and put them up in your neighborhood to help out. You know,
Exactly.
pay to play has distorted the music industry in
It
a
has.
horrible, horrible way.
It has.
And I believe that the clubs are beginning to pay for it right now.
Right. Well, they're looking at that same difference that happened with the internet when it came about, and none of the labels wanted to get involved, and they themselves created the competition of everybody selling CDs out of the back of their car.
Right.
So now all the bands have to focus on is getting a good team built around them and getting major distribution. So there comes the 360 deal, and the 360 deal is straight. Hey, we'll give you all the money you want, we'll put you on tour, we'll help you out, but we want the one thing that you've always kept. And what's that? Their live gigging money and their merchandising
And their merchandising,
money.
yeah.
So, I mean, come on, you can't give that away. You can't take that away from the little guy or they'll starve. Okay.
Hey, not only do you do a multifaceted business there, tell me about some of the special events that you've been involved in.
Well, UMP got involved with special events years and years ago. I started out doing the Massachusetts Children's Hospital, and I'm involved in St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Anything I can do to help veterans. It's just one of those things that if there's a worthy cause out there and I can help somehow, I'm going to get involved.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way about that. Tell me about some of the other acts that you're representing down there at San Diego.
Well, first and foremost, I mean, the major act that you just got through seeing is Trailer Park
Trailer Park Rockstar. How about that, man?
I mean, that's it. I mean, you know, they're the guys that everybody really needs to kind of keep their eye open for because they love what they do. They're serious about it, and they go at it with a vengeance.
But there's other guys close on their heels.
There are other
that?
guys in different genres. In the blues genre, I handle a gentleman by the name of Trey Tosh, and he'll be doing one of your shows here real soon.
Awesome.
And Dan Archuleta.
The last name sounds familiar. Why is that?
David Archuleta won the American Idol.
American Idol.
They're
Right.
cousins, and there's that family competitiveness going on, but they're two
There you
different
go.
things altogether. Very loving family. They're a huge family. They own a goddamn county, for Christ's sakes.
Right.
But Dan's phenomenal, man. They've got this band that is just. It's just something that you have to sit down and watch because there's so much energy in their live performance that it's just something that wakes up a room, keeps them going to the bar.
That's what a club
keeps
owner
them
needs.
dancing.
A club owner needs a band that'll entertain his club.
And
man.
they're just one of those bands that are very cool like that. I also work with a gentleman by the name of Dave Varch. He's the kid that did the original Halloween. Well, not the original Halloween, but the one that Rob Zombie did.
Oh, yeah.
He's a little bastard in the park that beats the shit out of the guy with the stick.
What a good gig that is.
Right? Yeah. And
That's
he just got another gig called Ditch Party, where at the
Being a
end,
bastard with a stick?
Yeah, where at the end, figured out he ends up being a killer.
When you're
Go
that guy, you
figure.
could get stereotyped into beating bastards with sticks, I
He
suppose.
looks like a baby, but he follows the role well. And then, we work with some guys we have in development. This kid named Junior. He's a 18-year-old rapper kind of a kid, and that just is all over the local radio stations in San Diego. He's a brilliant kid with a brilliant career in front of him, a bright career in front of him. So we have our development department helping him along a little bit. And we talked with some of the guys here in LA called American Made. They played here last
I
year.
had him on the show last week.
Yeah. Dave's been blowing up my phone left and right. Smart guy. He works very hard. I think he's an asset to any band that he plays with, whether it be opening up for them or just on a double bill. He's a good guy.
He's a good band.
Yeah, they love to play.
I'm glad you liked him.
Yeah.
Tell folks how they get a hold of you. You got a website?
Yeah. It's really short. It's called Universal Musical Productions.
It's really short, yeah. I'll put it on the screen. So
it's called UniversalMusicalProductions.com, and there's a phone number on there. And we do events everywhere from San Diego all the way up the coast past, LA. And we'll be doing a few events with you down in San Diego.
Absolutely.
And,
LArocks will be doing some events with them in San Diego.
And we have a Facebook page, right off of my Facebook page, Pete Worth, where you'll find Universal Musical Productions. And I generally put tutorials up there to help bands that are going through the development end of it. Because my office is pretty bustling. I mean, at any given time, we've got about 8 people in the office just working, and the band stop in left and right because it's a think tank. They get to sit in the lounge, go through all the intellectual property and conference room, get all this stuff that's in the process of being worked on in my graphic center, and when that's all said and done, we have a rehearsal studio on one side and a recording studio on the other, so we make sure that our days are like, 10 to 10 is what we stay open to, is what I say, but it's generally 9 to midnight.
Man, thank you for coming to my show.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate having you here. We're going to be seeing more of you in the near future.
Absolutely.
We'll probably do another little interview with you sometime in the future.
Yeah, we have a few shows planned.
Well, let me tell you about this place. Dermographic Inc. is a place right here in LA. It's one of my favorite places to go hang out. If you need a tattoo, you need to go to Dermographic Inc. Now, I sent Lonnie over there a little while ago, and this is the interview she got from over there.
Lonnie here at Dermograph Inc. in the NoHo Arts District. We're here with Justin, the artist and the owner of this fine establishment, and he is working on a very lovely piece here. Let's see what it's about. Hi.
Hi.
Your name?
My name is Cheryl.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the piece?
This is a sleeve. It's a sleeve I've been working on for years now. It's very, very detailed, and it's something that's more personal to me because I love the artist. She's an anthropologist from the 1700s, and that's a big deal, a woman who was a scientist in that time and age. And she's from France. She made a heavy-duty travel all the way to South America to study the creatures, the insects, the plant life, and she did her own fine artwork of this discovery, and that is what's being tattooed on my arm.
Has Justin been the artist who's worked on your tattoos?
Justin's the only person I will let work on this sleeve, simply because it entails a lot of detail, a lot of work, and a lot of patience. And he was the only tattoo artist locally I could find that was willing to do this piece. It's been a work in years to complete, and he's pretty much my one trusted tattoo artist.
That's awesome. It's always good, very important to feel comfortable with your artist. That's awesome. So let's talk to Justin a little bit. How's it going there?
Pretty good. Been working on this piece for around, 5 years now? 4 years? She's about to get married, so we decided we need to really finish it up, get her going.
Well, that's really lovely. When are you getting married?
Oh, July next year.
Oh, yay. That's awesome. So Justin, how long have you guys been here?
We've been in the neighborhood for about almost 4 years. We decided to open up. We couldn't work for anybody else anymore. I really wanted to have a place that everybody could come to and actually create instead of have to be bullied by some shop owner. I just want to give them a place, and even other people who aren't tattoo artists, to come over and create and do painting. We have a thing we do, it's called Brush Club LA, and then we actually paint together, teach each other graphics, we teach each other music sometimes. It could be even colored pencils, it could be oils, pretty much anything that makes you want to create.
That's awesome.
And we have an art gallery here. We have a nice backyard where we, get away from the cement, get into the lovely trees and life that's around here.
Definitely, and we'll talk some more about that later. Let's talk more about the shop. How many artists do you have here?
At the moment, there are 5 of us. We have a couple other people who are looking to come out in the next couple of weeks. We have an apprentice here from Spain, and that's been pretty interesting. A little language barrier, but totally interesting really interesting person. It's been great.
That's really cool. So can you tell us a little bit more about your apprentice program?
Well, usually when you want to do an apprenticeship, it takes you about, I don't know, 2 years minimum, and you're looking around spending around $10,000 to get your apprenticeship. So, and plus too, it's like going to college. You have to bring in a really good portfolio. You have to be something, instead of not knowing how to draw, because we don't teach you how to draw, we teach you how to use a new tool to actually create your artwork for other people. So I like to teach you the business, and then afterwards we teach you how to run the machines and how to make needles. Nobody teaches how to make needles anymore either these days. And then on your second year, we start getting you to start tattooing on people's skin. It's a long path, and it's tough, and I've had a lot of people almost cry and leave the place because it's like, I can't do this anymore. The machine is just impossible. It's heavy. It's a tough life as well. It's a lifestyle. It's not a job. It's not a career. It's definitely a lifestyle. You change everything. You give up everything. You give up going to those cool concerts and all that stuff. But every once in a while, you get to go to those really rad concerts and go backstage that you don't normally get to go do. So it's a give and take when you're doing tattooing.
That's cool. How long has your apprentice been with you, your current one?
She's pretty new. She's only maybe a month.
Oh, wow.
And the other one I had 2 years, which was Steve. He actually finished up, and he's working almost full time here. He's still, at the moment, he's a manager of the Roxy.
Oh, wow.
So he manages the Roxy in the evening times and stuff. So we have to let him go half days. But he does amazing tattoos. His first couple of tattoos were just flawless. Yeah, I'm so proud of that guy.
Well, that's good. I'm sure he's glad he got his start here. So you guys have a great vibe going on here. Like, what was the kind of thing you were going for?
I just really wanted to make it like as if you came to my house and you came over and I wanted you to sit down. I'm going to sit down on the floor right there with you and hang out and just talk about art and what you're into, and don't just get the little cookie stamp, because I want to up the game and have do something fun and something you can go, wow, that was beautiful. Instead of just go, oh yeah, that's nice, and kind of bounce your way out of here. I want to get a really cool tattoo on you. And plus it gives me something challenging to do. And then you get to hang out in the backyard while I draw a lot. No, but it's super rad. And we'd barbecue back there all the time, and we have events, and every year we had a water slide. Yeah, it's great. I just, show a little appreciation for everybody who supports us and shows love to us.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they appreciate it as well. A welcoming atmosphere is very important. So can you tell us some more about some of the artwork that's around?
Yeah, a lot of the artwork, I would say 65% of it is ours, all the artists that work here. And the rest are just artists who, when we do art gallery showings, and they bring their pieces, and it'll be here 6 to 8 weeks. And then we just give them a call back, and they'll come by and pick up their pieces.
Okay. Are any of these pieces for sale?
Almost every piece is for sale here. Some of them are actually fairly cheap. Everybody's always afraid to buy paintings, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's going to be $5,000. Actually, you can get some pretty nice little pieces for, fair price. So we can just kind of whip them out in a sense.
Yeah. How many of these are your pieces?
Everything here in this section is actually all mine.
Okay.
And that one up there.
So how can the people find you?
You can look for us on dermagraphinc.com or anything Dermagraph Inc., since Dermagraph Inc. is completely a made-up word. It's meaning derma and the skin, and then graphics, because we draw everything on the tablets, computer, graphics on the walls, wherever you can possibly throw some colors. And then ink, obviously tattooing. Had to kind of put them all together. Just made a magical word.
Yeah.
Demographic. So yeah, everything. Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, wherever you like, you can find us.
Dermograph Inc.
And as well Yelp.
And Yelp. I can totally see why Redbeard thinks this is one of the coolest places in LA. Back to you guys.
Yeah, that's Lonnie Legend shoes over there at Dermograph Inc. Man, we appreciate that. And Lonnie, great job. And we'll see you here in the studio next time. Peter, I can't thank you enough. It was great to have you at the show.
I appreciate it.
I also need to thank Trailer Park Rockstar. Thank you guys.
Boy.
You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. Brent Woods, we're sorry you couldn't make it. We hope to see you again sometime.
We'll see you next week,
real
Brent.
soon. Pete Worth, thank you for coming to the
Absolutely.
show.
Thank you,
Universal
brother.
Musical Productions,
I
man,
appreciate
it's
it.
really great. Tim Bogert, thank you for allowing me to come into your living room and to shoot that amazing, amazing interview. I love it. Thank you. And I love you, buddy. You're the greatest. We want to thank Boogie Magazine for coming in and kicking it with us. We so appreciate that.
Go Boogie.
Flash Rock Studios, Anna, Lonnie, for me, Redbeard, Peter, we're out of here. Thanks for coming to another show.
We'll see you in the future. Thank you.
Hey, here we are after the show with Trailer Park Rockstar. You guys kicked some ass. Thanks for coming to the show.
Had a blast, man.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming to the show. Hey, let's start out by why don't you guys introduce yourself? Start it around the table.
Dino Ferrari,
Scott Roxanne.
Eric Z.
Corey Mitchell.
Man, you guys kicked ass. The crowd loved you. All my VIP guests that I had around here, they all seemed to like you too.
We had a blast.
So that's all what it's all about, is that you guys get to come and have a good time, and that's what we're all about here. And I've been friends with Dino now for a couple of years. He was in another
I'm sorry,
band.
brother.
I apologize.
I'm sorry. Hey, this man here can play the drums. I'll tell you
yes.
what. I saw him in another band called Shotgun Chaperone.
Yep.
And we became friends then, and we've stayed friends. And he told me he had this new band. And I said, well, I got a TV show that I think I'd like to have your new band on then, brother.
Yep, told you
And
about
here
that.
we are. And here we are. Yeah, you was right that I would like this band, and you are absolutely right. I do. Are you guys got any gigs coming on? What's going on soon? How do people come see you?
Yeah, we got our Facebook page, probably, and Reverb Nation, all that stuff. It's a Facebook page, just Trailer Park Rockstar. I think the Reverb Nation is Trailer Park Rockstar as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
the website thing. We had a actual website, but I mean,
It's a pain in the neck to
It wasn't
maintain.
beneficial.
It's a pain in the neck to maintain. Yeah. No, I totally
with Reverb Nation and Facebook and all that, we can get in touch with more of our fans that way than we can on the stupid website. Anyway,
And it's
so.
you know what, you guys in your career right now where you're at, it's time to fucking go rock on the road.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no other place to be right now. There's no studios need to be in now. It needs to be on stages. And that's
Absolutely.
where you guys need to be, is on some stages. And I can't wait. I'm going to be doing some more work with Pete, and we're probably going to be coming down to San Diego to shoot down there.
Absolutely.
I sure hope
Sweet.
you guys
Awesome.
are on the bill.
Nice.
I sure hope you guys are on the bill. Man, you guys really rocked the house. I'm so glad you were here. I want to thank you for coming to LA Rocks. I want to thank you for coming to LA Rocks. The audience is what makes the show.
Absolutely.
You guys here, we're going to see you out on the road. It's me, Redbeard. I'm sitting here with Trailer Park Rockstar. We're out of here, man.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Man, this is
brother.
awesome. You guys.
Any more beer? Last one.